Hey there. I'm back.
Hey guys, it's Nacho, and welcome back to the channel. I first want to apologize for being absent from the channel for a little longer than normal. My senior year of college has finally started, so I'm just trying to stay ahead of the curve in these first couple of weeks so that I can ensure I get good grades and that I can ensure that I make the best video content for the channel. But with all that out of the way, welcome to the first edition of another new series I'm starting with the channel, along with the video essays, tier lists, and 10 count, the Nacho Wrestling Rundown, where I'm going to be talking about news in the pro wrestling world. This can either be reviews and results from pay-per-views or special events, or big episodes of Dynamite or big episodes of Raw, or just talking about any news that comes up in wrestling. So with that out of the way, let's get into the first topic that I think we all know I was going to talk about, the firing of CM Punk. So CM Punk was let go, and as of recording this, I'm recording this on Tuesday, September 5th. CM Punk was let go from AEW on Saturday, leading up to All Out on Sunday. And this left a huge shockwave through the professional wrestling industry. Honestly, still to this day, as I'm recording this video, Punk had his last match at All In, which I will talk about in a bit. It was against Samoa Joe, arguably his greatest rival. I saw a tweet on Twitter, but I saw him talk about how, and I don't know who it is, so I apologize for not giving credit for this, but I saw someone saying how CM Punk's last match in AEW, and possibly wrestling if he doesn't decide to go back to WWE or anywhere else, was against arguably his greatest rival in Samoa Joe. Rather poetic, but it does leave me a little upset seeing that he never got to possibly put over Ricky Starks and possibly have a match against either Kenny Omega or team up with FDR and take on the Elite. I know a lot of people didn't see it happening, but I think that the reason Punk was throwing jabs at the Elite were because they were slowly working towards something. I mean, when Punk came back, there was no real tension between the two except for the cheap shots that they took at each other. There wasn't any reports of them like squabbling or yelling at each other. And they were even apparently close to each other backstage at All In, and they still didn't get into anything. It was CM Punk and Jack Perry that got into it at All In. So I just think it's interesting how Punk's firing came from a fight that had subsequently nothing to do with the Elite. Next up on the itinerary, I'm going to be talking about All In and All Out. Of course, All In happened on the weekend of the 27th of August, and it was a great card. A lot of people have said this, and I couldn't agree more. AEW has found their WrestleMania. They were able to take a lot of matches that weren't really built up over a long period of time, except for maybe the main event. And I guess CM Punk and Joe, if you want to count all the like tape library stuff they have from Ring of Honor since Tony bought that, but I don't think you count that stuff. Other than that, the card was really good. The Stadium Stampede match I thought was very fun. You're never going to get another Stadium Stampede like the one during the pandemic, and that's mainly just because you have to work in an actual live crowd and make it look fun. Either way, I thought Stadium Stampede was fun. I thought the whole card was good from top to bottom. MJF and Adam Cole not turning on each other. I'm so glad that I predicted that in my top 10 things I wanted at All Out, because I was afraid that they were going to turn heel on each other. I even saw the Kingdom come down to the rampway and like console Roddy before they like got the shot of them, and I was like, are they gonna do it? They didn't. They just kept like holding the shot for a while. It was really good. Just marred by the CM Punk Jack Perry issue, which I'm gonna completely brush over because that's been talked about to death online already. CM Punk and Jack Perry got into a squabble. Whatever, it happens. CM Punk's no longer with the company. Moving on to All Out. Moving on to All Out, I saw a lot of people online saying All Out was the better show than All In, and I disagree. I think both shows were equally as good. All Out's card was definitely put together very haphazardly. I think that was probably had a lot to do with the CM Punk issue. Uh, that being said, it still delivered. It was still great. The Bryan Danielson Ricky Starks strap match was magnificent. You guys know how I feel about Bryan Danielson. Any match he has is 5 stars in my opinion. So it was just great to see him return quicker than normal. Pulled a little Super Cena on us. That was nice. But the main thing I want to talk about from All Out is the Orange Cassidy Jon Moxley match for the international title. That match was phenomenal and really did a lot to cement Orange Cassidy as a real wrestler. I feel like after that match, you can't say he's just a comedy act anymore. I mean, you literally watched him drop it mid-match. I saw this clip over and over again on Twitter, but the constant when he put the hands in his pocket and then he started slowly stomping Moxley and then he started getting more aggressive and aggressive and aggressive. If this was Orange Cassidy a year and a half, 2 years ago, he would have just been slowly stomping until Mox, had enough of it and pummeled him. So I thought it was very cool to see him just shed that and go all out and just really, no pun intended on that, go all out right there. But just see him really, really lay into it and have a great match. I was kind of hoping he would get to have it for a full year just to kind of really cement it. Either way, he's definitely been probably the best singles champion AEW's had, in my opinion. I know that's probably controversial with Kenny's fantastic world title run and belt collector run, but I think something about this with the amount of defenses and just the sheer quality of matches from Cassidy have been great. And you got to give him his flowers for this title run. He had a magnificent title run. It'll be cool to see what Mox does with it, see if they turn it into a secondary world title now that Punk's gone. Because honestly, you kind of could with the international title. It serves the same purpose as the world title. Put it on Collision, have Mox and the Blackpool Combat Club hang out on Collision and, kind of be the standard bearers over there. I think that's the plan. I think that's what they should do. I hope that's what they do. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Up next, we have Payback. Payback was on Saturday the 2nd, a day before All Out, and Payback was not as good as All Out or as All In, but it was still good. Great matches. I mean, I think Shinsuke and Seth could have been a little better in my personal opinion. I know they're trying to maybe tell the story of Seth's back starting to give out and everything like that, and it's starting to hinder his matches. But if it is genuinely actually starting to hinder his matches and his match quality is slowly going down, it might be best to take the title off him sooner rather than later so he could just rest. Whether that's happening or not, I don't know. I just say that because they seem to be advancing the story of his back deteriorating last night on Raw. However, the rest of the card was good. I think having Sammy and KO lose the tag titles was a little bit of an odd idea. I understand they needed a way to keep the Judgment Day story going. I don't think it needed to be done with a can they coexist story between Finn and Damian holding the tag titles, because I feel like that's just one step forward and 2 steps back for the tag division. You had Sammy and Kevin win the belts, and you hear how they really want to make sure that they're defended properly and they bring some prestige to the tag division because, they got their start as a tag team together, as El Generico and Kevin Steen on the Indies. And to kind of, I know Kevin Owens was injured and everything like that, but to have them defend it like once or twice, I know they defended it against Pretty Deadly on SmackDown, but to only have them defend it a couple times and lose it in like 3 months, 3 or 4 months, I don't know, it just seems like a little rushed. I hopefully they're not going to have them turn on each other again, because I think we're well past the feuding era for these two guys. I think they are in the point in their careers where if they're going to feud again, it can solely be based on friendly competition and like seeing who the better wrestler between the two, friends is. It does not have to be a blood feud by any means necessary. I think that was good for the first 5 years they were in the WWE, but they've been here for a while now. I think we don't need to hash that out again. So hopefully they don't have Kevin turn or Sammy turn. I don't think Sammy would turn, but it seems like maybe they could have Kevin turn. I'm not sure. But either way, Payback was a good show. All the shows this past 2 weekends were great shows. All 3 of them, not to take anything away from any 3 of the shows. They were all equally good in their own rights. I mean, I couldn't ask for more wrestling to watch because my plate's kind of full with watching everything that I already am, so don't give me any more to watch. With all the talk of Payback, All In and All Out, and CM Punk out of the way, the last thing I want to talk about in today's video is my next video essay. My next video essay is going to be on why we need a second women's revolution in wrestling. And I have had this script written for a while now. I just wasn't sure if I was going to actually make the video on it or not. I was going to save it for a later date. But after the incident at All In of the 5-hour card having only one women's match lasting 8 minutes, I think it really needs to be done. I said this before in my Tony Khan problem essay that in AEW, if you want to watch women's wrestling, it's not going to happen in AEW unless a voice is heard, and that's going to be what that video is about. So please check that out when it comes out. I really like it. I really appreciate women's wrestling. I mean, some women can go better than the men, and some women can do things that the men wish they could do in the ring. And I think they deserve just as much as a spotlight. And I'm hopefully going to turn a couple people's opinions around about that in this essay. But I'm not hoping for any sort of grand change to happen. With all that stuff out of the way, let me know what you guys thought about this video down in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Do all that good engagement stuff for the analytics. Help me out because it would be much, much appreciated, especially since I'm about to finish college and the real world is super duper scary. Thank you guys. Let me know what you thought about Nacho Wrestling Rundown Episode 1, and I will see you guys next time.